Now, she's the dynamic artist that continues to put Manchester on the map. She's been away for a couple of years due to health issues, but this Mobo-nominated artist is back with a message of hope and inspiration. Welcome to the show. It is the awesome Ni-cola. How you doing?
I am doing really, really well, thank you. I'm just thankful, even though it's chilly and the dark nights are here, I'm just thankful for new beginnings and a new season, really. It's
so good. It's so good. It's so good to see you, and I really thank you for this opportunity that we can connect in this way.
Definitely.
Now, I've been looking back at some of your early music, and I realized that you've been doing this for a while now. I mean, you had your album Love Out Loud. That was back in 2014.
Yeah. In fact, no, that was 2011.
Really?
Love Out Loud. Yeah.
Because I thought you had some singles. Because I've gone back to kind of some previous earlier singles as well. You got Better Is One Day.
And
there's been a number of singles over the years. I mean, one of the ones that really pulls at my heartstrings is Dear Mum.
Right.
Was that 19? That was 19. A couple of years ago now.
Yeah, gosh, yeah. 2019, yeah.
2019.
That's mad.
What is it that's kept you going over the years? I mean, how have you managed to remain focused, I suppose, is the question.
You know, for me, I never really pursued music in the way that most artists do. I didn't have that hunger to sing or anything like that. I kind of fell into it by accident, but actually the accident was purpose, really. And so I've always felt accountable for doing what the Lord's asked me to do. And so throughout the years, I've had my breaks like most artists have. You know, when the album dropped in 2011, I then launched a charity, and for about 6 years, I wasn't really doing anything. And it was a great time because I was investing my gifts into other areas, and it just allowed me to fulfill another aspect and sphere of what God had for me. And I think sometimes as artists, we can pigeonhole ourselves into just one area. And I've always felt that as long as it's ministry and as long as it's serving God and serving the people, then it doesn't matter what the vehicle looks like, whether it's music, whether it's charity work, whatever it is, as long as it's serving the people. And so I've always led with that kind of heart, really.
I mean, you have done quite a bit of work empowering young people as well. I mean, that must be quite rewarding for you as well.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I've worked with young people for over 20 years, and what I love about young people is you can plant a seed in a child or young person that is really difficult and really challenging in those teenage years where they're struggling in life, and you can meet them at age 20 or age 30 and they're a complete different person than what you were dealing with at the time. But because someone believed in them, someone championed them, and they turn around and say, Miss, it was because you said this, or it's because when I was being rude and disrespectful, you didn't quit on me. Things like that just remind you of why you do what you do continuously. And so, yeah, I love working with young people. I love doing young people gigs. Like, it's just the best vibe ever. Yeah.
And you're so full of energy as well. So it goes hand in hand, doesn't it?
Well, do you know what? You vibe off them, don't you? Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm not a young person anymore. I'm almost hitting 40, believe it or not. But I think as long as you have that mindset of, do you know what? Give exactly what you have inside, then yeah, you're as young as you feel, aren't you?
Absolutely. I love it. Absolutely. So talk me through your childhood and maybe what part music played in all of that. Were you quite musical from young?
Yeah, so my childhood was very much surrounded by music. Growing up in a Jamaican household, and I say Jamaican rather than British because my mum was born in Jamaica and was there till she was like 11. So I kind of felt like I had a very different childhood to other people, that it was very much a lot of reggae music that I sort of grew up on. And then my brother became a DJ, so a lot of hip hop, like Wu-Tang Clan, all those types of that type of music. I was surrounded by it, and so I kind of developed an appreciation for Black music. But then at the same time, I was going to church as well. So I also developed a real passion for gospel music.
Yeah.
So I was kind of stuck in between these three genres that are quite different, really, but crossover in lots of different ways. And so when I really started to get involved in music, I actually started as a dancer. And I was part of this group called Versatile. So we used to do a lot of shows in Moss Side and stuff like that, a lot of talent shows.
Quickly go into Google, Versatile.
You won't find us. But we used to do lots of competitions, and there was one competition that we were doing, and we had like a mix of lots of different raps. I think we had Busta Rhymes in there, we had some Mary J, a whole concoction. But then at the end of it, because I was a Christian, we had Kirk Franklin's Stomp the Rap part. I somehow added that, and that was my Christian contribution after we were shaking our booties in this dance competition. And the Lord began to convict me, because I think I remember some people from church came to watch the show.
Okay.
And it was a real turning point for me, actually. And so I decided to launch a gospel dance group. So we got to dance with like Lieutenant Stitchie when he toured. I got to tour Germany with some different artists from the UK, Elaine Hanley. We toured Germany and Europe. And it was an amazing time. And that's really how I got into the gospel industry. It wasn't via singing, it was being a dancer. And I loved it.
Yeah. Brilliant. I was going to say, because dance is something that I know that when I look back over, if I was to Google you, other websites are available. We do see some dance stuff that you've done. I think I remember saying to you, or sending you a message saying, I don't even remember seeing this one before. It was like, wow, where have I been?
It was breakthrough. Yeah, it was breakthrough. Yeah, brilliant. So I thought, you singer, dancer, Ni-cola, the whole shebang. Look at that. Yeah, I love it, man. I love it.
Now, we mentioned about working with young people. And I was going to ask you how what impact it had on you when you were recovering from being ill. But maybe let's take a step back and say you've been away for a little while, and that's because you haven't been very well. But you're in a great place now. And I can see, having followed you on social media, you are in a great place. And I take my hat off to you for the journey that you're on. So if you want to share, tell us what you'd like to share about what's happened over the last couple of years and why there has been that break. Yeah, sure. That's no problem. So I was in the middle of touring. We were doing a tour in the UK. Everything was going great. I've just come back from a gig in Ireland, and then my day job, I work for the Church of England, and I work in sort of Christian education. So we help to develop Christian discipleship in schools. So I was on the way to leading an assembly with a group of kids, and a car literally didn't read the traffic signal correctly and literally drove into my driver's side. Wow. And literally today is the first time that I've driven past where I had that accident. Today is the first time in almost 2 years. And my brother was driving me and asking me, how do you feel? And I was like, do you know what? I'm okay. Mm-hmm. And I've had a lot of driver's anxiety since the accident. So what I thought, and the doctors told me, was just some ligament damage and, you'll be back in work in a few weeks or so, turned out to be literally almost 2 years of absolute, I can't even describe the word, but I literally went from being on tour and on the road to literally being housebound and in a wheelchair. And without a diagnosis, the mental trauma that came with that, it's only become more apparent as I have gained back my independence and sort of going through the healing process. And now being a person who has a disability,
which is very different to my previous life. It's every day has its own battles and its own struggles. I went from, you know, being this person who had all the independence in the world, did everything for myself, to then dependent on family and friends for the simplest things like meals and cleaning my house and all that sort of stuff. And it was just a journey of absolute despair. But at the same time, I saw God moving in really different ways than I'd ever imagined that he could move in my life. I felt his peace in a way that I've not experienced before. There was provision. There was so much love from friends and family, even in the midst of a pandemic. And I told myself this: the day I get back up walking, I will never, ever be the same again. So the energy I had back then, that has to go up a level. The ministry that I was doing, that has to go up a level. Every single thing, because I was sat down watching the world go by. And what that does to you mentally, it kind of reboots your system and tells you that this is not the end. But when you do get back up, you have to reset. There has to be a factory reset and it has to be even more powerful than it was before.
Wow, that is so powerful. You're not going to be in the same place again, but use this as a driver maybe to propel you to your next level.
Basically, yeah. It's the worst thing that could happen, but at the same time, some of the best things have come out of this experience. And for that, I can only praise Jesus. I was traveling to London this weekend, and as someone with a disability now, hopefully it's not going to be long term, but it's a situation that I find myself in. So whenever I travel, I have to have assistance from Avanti, that's the assistance provider. So they help you to get onto the train. They find you a special seat, because whenever I sit down, I have to have my leg straight ahead. I can't sit down like that. It has to be like that. Okay. And that's been for the last 2 years. So at first, it was really embarrassing. So I'd gone to award ceremonies and people thought I was just chilling. In fact, I remember being at a recent award show and a gospel artist actually came up to me and tried to remove my leg because they thought I was just chilling out with my leg up on this. And I've experienced so many strange assumptions from people because in our community, we don't really understand disability.
Yeah.
It's not something we're familiar with. And so people see me physically and think I'm 100% fine. And then they suddenly find themselves in a position where they've assumed something and then they've had to really try to understand what's going on here. Oops, sorry about that. I don't know what happened there. And so that's been a challenge. And so when I was on the train this weekend, I had a lot of difficulties with that journey. You know those people that you see in those trucks on Virgin trains and they're taking people to the train? Yes,
that's right. Yes.
Those carts, I think they're called carts. I don't. So anytime I get a train,
like a little golf buggy. Yeah.
So I was on these golf buggies and my legs out, and I'm just like, God, is this my life? But at the same time, I thank God that I can actually get on a train. I can actually walk. I can actually do so much more than I could.
Yeah.
And it's helped me to have so much compassion for people with disabilities. Like the disability world is a very different world to the able world.
Yeah.
And you develop so much compassion and so much adoration for these people that are constantly fighting for equality. And so, it's touched me in so many different ways. And although I'm not at the end of this journey, I am so much further on than I was.
Amen. That's really good to hear. So good to hear. And that has been a journey, and to God be the glory that you've come this far and you're moving forward, and you've got so much to be thankful for.
Yeah.
We spoke a bit about young people and your involvement with young people and how great what I've seen you are with them. I mean, how did you feel about being away from them for so long? I mean, how did that impact you as well?
That was hard. That was hard. I was getting cards from all my schools of the kids saying, we're praying for you, wow. Ni-cola, we hope you get better. We can't wait to see you again. I had young people, some older young people saying, can we come and visit you? Is there anything we can do to help? Wow. And it was just like, wow, you don't ever know the seeds you planted until you need to know. Yeah. That's what it told me. And it just really touched me to know that there's something waiting for you on the other side. Like, don't give up in this season. This is not how the story ends. And I think for anyone who's suffering or going through anything, wait to turn that page. There's a next chapter coming. Always wait for the next chapter.
I love it.
Because it could actually be your best chapter.
Oh, there's a word there. There's a word there indeed. Brilliant. Brilliant. Now, I believe that you're working towards an EP release at some stage. Is that correct?
Brilliant. It is correct. It is so correct. Like, so this was meant to come out in 2019.
Oh, wow. Okay.
But I had the accident and everything got halted. So I've had to hold on this for a long time. But, you know, when you kind of realize that God's been in the midst of it all, and there's so many stuff that are tied to this project, and then it's like, do you know what? Don't stress about it. It's coming, and it's going to come at the right time. So yeah, I'm really excited about that project dropping, because it's almost like I had to go through this in order to actually be able to actually deliver this project, to give birth to this project, for the two to kind of correlate and make sense.
Yeah, yeah.
So no, really, really excited about the songs on this. Yeah, really, really excited.
Now, I don't know if you've got a name. You don't need to tell us anything, but I was thinking, I was looking back over some of your songs, and some of your repertoire has, what I got from there was about encouraging, about empowering. In all the stuff that you've done, whatever song, there's been a real personal testimony that you've wanted to share with people. This is my story, good to me, and now living my best life. There's been something in each of those that you've not just done a song about the sun in the sky, but you've said something about that you want to leave with somebody and empower them. So I'm really quite excited about it. So should you.
And I'm excited for you guys to hear it. I think what you're going to hear, there's some collaborations that I haven't shared about.
Yeah.
But I can name drop one. So I did a song with Noel Robinson.
Okay.
And we kind of went back in UK gospel and remixed. I'm giving too much away already, but it's a song that
you've started. Now you'll finish.
I've started now. So this has never been shared anywhere. So you're the first to kind of hear it. But we took it back to a song that is UK #1, and a song that if you were cog up or you were new tea, you will know this song.
Is it written by Noel?
Actually, no.
Oh, okay.
No.
Okay.
It's not written by Noel.
Okay. Oh, well, I'm looking forward to it. Don't worry, I know you're going to send me the exclusive, so it's all good.
Of course, of course. but really excited about that. We've also add some. I really, in fact, I'm saying too much already. Yeah. So anyway,
looking forward to it.
Yeah, we're looking forward to it. Yeah.
So anyway, let's focus on what we know, and what we know is that your most recent single is "Living My Best Life." It's a collaboration. It's a song produced by the award-winning, the legend that he is, Mr. Ian Copeland Green.
That's right.
Tell us about the track. Tell us what it's like working with Ian. I've just got a heart for him. I love him. He's such a great guy.
Yeah. I mean, I've wanted to work with him for years and years, and then when it's like, right, it's time now. It's time to work with this person. But as an artist, when you're going into the studio, it's one of the most vulnerable places to go in the world. Going into the studio, then add that to working with someone you don't know, and so it was a little bit scary, to be honest. because you need the synergy, you need the understanding,
yeah.
and you need that partnership, that genuine partnership. And from the first song that I went in to do, which was Good to Me, I was broken for weeks after we recorded that song. Like, when I heard that song back, I just cried and cried and cried. And I realized that when you as an artist put everything into a song, it will affect you deeply. And then when the release comes to the world, it will then affect them deeply. And so the song Living My Best Life, we were trying to think of something that we all say, but that has purpose and meaning. And living my best life isn't this just about, you know, I'm on IG and I'm looking fly and I'm looking hot and I'm with my man or whatever. Living my best life is really about what has God done in your life, in your season. Take that, what he's done, and live life abundantly. Live in that abundant life that Jesus said he gave to us, that we would have life and that we would have life more abundantly. And so that's really what living my best life is about. It's about whatever you have in your house, use that to glorify him in your life and let others see the goodness and the glory of God. Yeah,
beautiful. Yeah. And it's an absolute cracking song. What's the feedback been to you? What sort of feedback have you received?
Do you know what? It's been mad. Like, a lot of people have just said, I needed this song. Like, this has been my song that I just encourage myself with. Like, it's because it's quite a celebratory song and it's quite high energy and stuff like that. I don't think people really expected it. But it's got that party vibe. So it's gospel, but you can kind of vibe to it and stuff like that. So it's been so well received by radio, and I'm so thankful. We just want to get out and perform it now. Do you know what I mean? But it's all in stages. It's all in stages. I have started gigging again slowly. But to take this stuff on the road is definitely what the next steps are. But no, I'm just so thankful that people have stuck with me in spite of the breaks, in spite of the challenges. You know what I mean? Like, people have just been amazing, absolutely amazing.
Well, really looking forward to you coming down to even my neck of the woods. You're going to be supporting.
I know, right?
Yeah, come on now. That's all good, all good. Now, you mentioned earlier a little bit about collaboration. So tell me, now, this doesn't need to be the people who you've got on the EP, but if there's anyone that you could work with, whether from a production perspective or just from an artist singing duo collaboration group wise, who would it be and why?
If I could collab with anyone or work with anyone, it would be Kirk Franklin, 100%.
Okay.
And I'd literally go up to him, I'd literally walk into the studio and say, do whatever you want to do. whatever you tell me to do, I will do it. I love his energy. I love his insane creativity.
Isn't it crazy?
The fact that, oh my gosh, his catalogue. I mean, you just hear a Kirk song and you're done. The deal is done.
Yeah. He's got a signature. I mean, every, you know, dare I say, every producer, artist has their signature sound. There's some artists I hear something thinking, oh, that's so and so.
Yeah.
You know, you're going to have maybe Fred Hammond. You hear his sound, you hear a commission sound. Kirk Franklin is definitely one. And that'd be good. Okay, so Kirk. So if there's someone who you're going to sing with, is there someone who you think I'd love to sing with them?
Someone I would love to sing with. Do you know what? I love CeCe Winans. I'm old school. Yeah. I love like real traditional gospel, but then that funk aspect of it. And I've loved her from day one. From day one, I would love to sing with the queen of gospel, CeCe Winans, 100%.
She has a voice and a half, doesn't she? She has an amazing gifting.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Now, going back to your track and your sound, who would you say that your track appeals to? The most latest one.
Do you know what? I would say it's quite pop driven, gospel-y as well. I think everyone.
Okay.
Literally everyone and anyone. Yeah. I sent my brother sent me an email. He's in the army, and he just sent me this email, and he just went, he's like 23, went, the track's fire, you know, sis, the track's fire. And when your 23-year-old little brother can say that, you're like, okay, all right, we answer something, you know. So yeah, and then I've got some of my white colleagues that are like, yeah, we heard it on UCB radio. I just absolutely love the song. It's amazing. You know what I mean? So I definitely think it's got an appeal to a lot of people, really. Yeah.
That's beautiful. Excellent. Now, let me just switch it up a little bit as we kind of we're winding down, but I know, I have it on good authority because I've seen it on social media that you're a bit of a whiz in the kitchen. So this is the deal, right? This is the deal. You're having a dinner party.
Yeah.
I'm obviously invited.
Of course.
And there's another 3 people who you're going to invite. So tell me who you're going to invite.
Yeah. Okay.
And I just want
are these celebrities?
Could be anybody who you want. Just tell me.
Anybody I want.
So I want to hear why you're going to invite these people. What is it that they mean to you, or whatever it is you want to get from them? And I also want to hear about what's on your menu, because that's kind of important.
Okay. So obviously yourself. So I would invite, what's her name now? I would invite Viola Davis.
Ah, okay.
I would invite Barack Obama.
Okay.
And I would invite Jesus.
So
Jesus.
Viola Davis, Barack Obama.
Barack and Jesus.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. What is it about any of those, or tell us about what is it about those individuals that you would want to, or why you would invite them, basically?
Okay. So Viola, she's an incredible actor. Acting is where I started, and I am going to be pursuing that in the near future, believe it or not.
Come on now.
And anytime I see her in a movie or a series, I'm just taken. So to have her taste my food, you know, number one, it would be banging. And you know, she would be wondering exactly how on earth I was able to touch her soul in the kitchen area.
Come on now. All right.
So Barack Obama. So I would be educating him on Caribbean culture and British culture combined. And I would just love to hear the journey of how he remained consistent and true in a position of the most powerful man in the world as a Black man without a prototype, without someone leading the way before him. So I would love to hear that story at my dinner table.
Yeah.
And the reason I'd invite Jesus is because I would want to be like Mary and Martha, the one who was able to give him food, whether he needed it or not.
Okay, love it. Yeah.
Yeah. And on the menu,
come on now, yes.
We'd start off with some garlic, honey jerk king prawns with a little side of a mango salad with some plantain. Then for dinner, we would have some jerk sea bream. Okay. This is kind of a fish theme here.
Yeah.
On a bed of dauphinoise potatoes.
Yay.
With some seasoned roast vegetables because it's winter.
Yeah.
And then for dessert,
come on now, yes.
we We might have a chocolate brownie, homemade, of course, with a side of caramel ice cream.
Oh.
Yeah.
Can we just hold it here for a moment? Let me just.
Yeah. Praise the Lord. Praise the Lord. And then we just have a worship extravaganza at the end.
Yeah, absolutely. Come together and praise the Lord. That's wonderful.
Come on.
Oh, that's I love that. I love that. I just want to hear. I love food as well, so you know that's what I want to do.
I'm waiting to eat at your table as well, Mr. Howie Mack.
That's right.
Coming soon.
So tell me how people can follow you social media and get hold of a track and keep up to date with what's going on in the world of Ni-cola.
Yeah, so I've actually got, number one, a new single coming out that is nothing to do with that project. It's actually being commissioned by the Church of England, which is massive. And it's a song sort of tackling racism, basically. And we've been singing this song in the schools that we work in, and it's been so well received. So that's going to be coming out probably either the end of this month, soon anyway. But people can find my music all on the social media platforms in terms of Spotify, YouTube, Apple Music, all that sort of good stuff. And then you guys can connect with me on my Instagram, and that's my main platform. It's Ni-cola Music. And yeah, I'm just so blessed to be able to do what I do and to be able to serve the people through music. Brilliant.
So Ni-cola Music, follow you on social media. Ni-cola, it's been an absolute pleasure speaking with you. You have blessed my heart tonight, and I've had so much fun talking with you, and just hearing about how you've overcome and how you're still pushing, making a difference. Final words, over to you. What's your final words that you want to say to people?
It's only over when you decide to quit. So if you want to change the game, or you want to change the story or the narrative, then you have to find the strength that God has already placed within you. And you have to decide every single day that I will not quit.